What does your MacBook do that a tablet cannot do? Not maybe, not one day, right now, today. If you stop to think, I already win. But I have more. I have 5 tablets. They show what you paid for versus what you really use. Number 1 makes MacBook owners go quiet. Then they count their money. Let us start. Number 5, Microsoft Surface Pro 11. The Surface Pro 11 is the easiest entry point to admitting you overpaid because it does exactly what most MacBook users do for $600 less. Full Windows, full Office, full Photoshop, the same software, the same coffee shop document, the same video call. The Snapdragon X Elite handles browsing, spreadsheets, and light creative work without drama. The OLED screen is excellent indoors. The battery lasts a real workday if you're honest about your workload. No, the UFS storage is slower than Apple's NVMe. The port selection is stingy. The keyboard costs extra. But here's the logic. You're typing the same report as the person across from you with the Apple logo, and they paid $1,200 more for identical output. The Surface isn't better. It's equivalent where it matters, cheaper where it counts, and that equivalence makes the overpayment visible. That's why MacBook users dismiss it, not because it fails, because it proves they didn't need to pay for success. Number 4, Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. This tablet attacks the excuse MacBook users love most. I need a big screen for real work. The Tab S10 Ultra has a 14.6-inch AMOLED, larger than a MacBook Air's display, brighter in sunlight, with HDR that makes Apple's panel look conservative. The S Pen is included, not a $130 upsell. Samsung DeX gives you a desktop interface on a device that weighs half a MacBook and costs hundreds less. Battery life is 10 hours of actual mixed use, not Apple's lab-tested video playback fantasy. The keyboard is overpriced and shallow. Android's Pro apps are still mostly stretched phone software. But follow the logic. For $1,200 plus keyboard, you're in MacBook Air territory. And if your work is documents, browsing, video calls, and streaming, if that's actually what you do, then this device does enough. The overpayment isn't in what the MacBook can do, it's in what you paid for capability you never touch. The Tab S10 Ultra makes that gap specific and countable. That's why they hate it. Number 3, Lenovo Yoga Tab 13. This is the tablet that makes the overpayment undeniable because it removes every justification. At $600, the Yoga Tab 13 does what casual MacBook users actually do. Built-in kickstand, no $80 case, micro HDMI port, no $50 dongle, headphone jack, no $20 adapter, JBL speakers that sound fuller than a MacBook Air's, battery that lasts all day because the Snapdragon 870 is realistic about workload, not greedy for benchmarks. The 60Hz screen is a limitation, storage is slow, the keyboard is aftermarket. But here's the logical test. Will this device handle your actual day? Browsing, streaming, video calls, light documents? For most MacBook users, yes, completely. And if yes, then the $1,500 MacBook wasn't a tool. It was a luxury tax disguised as necessity. The Yoga Tab doesn't compete with MacBook Pros. It competes with the story MacBook users tell themselves about why they needed to pay more. And that story falls apart at $600. Number 2, iPad Pro 13-inch M4. This one stings because it's from the same company. The iPad Pro with M4 is faster than a MacBook Air, runs cooler, weighs less, has a better screen, better speakers, and a keyboard that, while expensive, functions properly. The M4 chip doesn't throttle. The tandem OLED is reference grade. Battery management is best in class. On hardware alone, it wins every comparison. So why does Apple restrict it? iPad OS still limits multitasking. Final Cut is a reduced version. The Files app is deliberately basic. And that restriction is the confession. Apple won't let the iPad Pro replace the MacBook because then you'd stop buying MacBooks. They sold you the engine, then locked the wheels to protect a more expensive product line. The logic is brutal. The company that markets "it just works" actively works to make sure it doesn't work too well. The overpayment isn't just in the MacBook's price, it's in the ecosystem that traps you there. The iPad Pro proves Apple could have given you more for less and chose not to. That's not ecosystem loyalty, that's calculated extraction. Number 1. ASUS ROG Flow Z13 2025. This tablet ends the argument because it removes the final excuse, "I need a MacBook for real power." Intel Core Ultra 9, RTX 4070, full Windows, full desktop applications. It runs Blender, Premiere, Cyberpunk, workloads that make MacBook Airs irrelevant and MacBook Pros overheat. The mini LED screen is 240 Hz, 1100 nits, with color accuracy matching Apple's best. The keyboard detaches but types like a real machine, with actual travel and a trackpad that doesn't apologize for existing. Ports include USB-C, USB-A, headphone jack, SD slot, and an external GPU port. ASUS included everything Apple removed, so they could sell you dongles and adapters and a lifestyle of carrying extra bags. At $2,000, it matches MacBook Pro 14 pricing, but it replaces your laptop, tablet, and gaming device. The logical comparison isn't feature to feature, it's outcome to outcome. You're rendering 3D on a plane, while the MacBook Pro owner is on battery saver, watching a progress bar, hoping the fan doesn't scream. They paid for a logo and the word Pro. You paid for capability that arrived without conditions. The overpayment isn't just money, it's the gap between promise and delivery. And this tablet makes that gap visible, measurable, and impossible to defend. Nobody wants to hear their expensive choice was emotional, but logic doesn't care about feelings. These tablets don't hate MacBooks, they just do the math out loud. And once you hear it, you can't unhear it. The logo was never worth the markup. You just needed someone to say so plainly.